Welcome to Beyond the Bizarre, a podcast curated to all things, well, bizarre. My name is Brianna, and I will be sharing with you urban legends, lore, ghost stories, and more from around our planet. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Beyond the Bizarre. I'm Brianna, your host, and I'm so glad that you guys are back with us for another episode of Beyond the Bizarre podcast. We are at the beginning of a new month, the month of August, and as I mentioned in our episode last week, we do have something special in store for this month. Since it's approaching the end of summer, as much as I hate to admit, we are approaching the end of summer, entering the fall months. But fall does make me excited because along with fall comes Halloween and everything spooky, so I'm really excited about that. But back to the end of summer. This month does mark the end of that decline. The nights become longer in the fall. Nights, days are cooler. But to mark the end of summer, we wanted to do something special. So for this month of August, each episode is going to have a theme that centers around two elements of the month of August: last minute road trips, and of course, back to school season. And of course, with us being beyond the bizarre, we focus on all things bizarre, of course. So we're going to do something a little bit different. We're not going to talk about the standard road trips or back to school fashions or getting the perfect backpack or whatever for back to school. For the next upcoming weeks, our podcast is going to center and focus on haunted roads and haunted schools, elementary schools, colleges, universities. We're going to dabble into that and focus on that. We thought it'd be perfect to get everyone mentally prepared for the upcoming season. So, with that being said, we're going to start this episode off with a haunted school tale. Now, this tale is going to be different because it's actually my own tale. And I haven't really told this to many people because a lot of people are skeptics. So, I haven't really shared it, but I'm going to share it now because it's beyond the bizarre and that's what we do. So, this story comes from I was back in elementary school. I was in fourth grade and it was back to school night, August, and the teachers and parents were getting everyone acquainted, meeting our teachers, meeting our future classmates, having snacks, answering questions, things of that nature. So I found a few classmates that had been at the school before. I was new to the school. It was my first year there. And the kids were like, come on, let's go to the library. We'll show you around. Just excited, I guess, to have someone different there themselves from having going to school with the same kids from kindergarten all the way through, going to school with the same kids. So to meet someone new, I guess, was exciting for them. So they said, we'll show you around. Let's go to the library. So we kind of ventured off a little bit from our parents, and they showed me around the library. And I remember it being kind of cool because I'm a nerd, so I loved the library setup. It was kind of open. Most libraries are in rooms, but it was kind of like an open layout. It was kind of like it was right smack dab in the middle of a room. It's hard to explain, but that's the way it was designed. It didn't have any walls. It was just there, right across from the classrooms. So we were there and we were looking at the books and we were just talking. I was asking them questions about who's the meanest teacher, how's the principal, things like that. And all of a sudden, we started smelling smoke. So I remember asking one of the kids, "Do you smell that?" and they looked at me as if they were already asking me the same question. And we did. It was just really, really, it was really, really just like a deep smoke, like burning smell. And we looked at the walls, and it was like the walls were flickering with orange, like the reflection of light or fire was on the walls, but of course we didn't see any fire. So we ran to our parents and the faculty and staff, and we told them what we were experiencing, told them that we smelled fire, we saw the light, but we didn't see any flames or anything. So the teachers and parents were of course alarmed. So they went and looked around. They called the school staff from the lower part of the school. It was a two-story school, and they called the staff to see if if there was a fire or anything going on. And of course there wasn't. It turned out to be there wasn't anything, but I we vividly smelled the smoke and saw the illusion of flames. And it kind of weirded me out because from a young age I've always kind of believed in the supernatural, believed in hauntings and things like that. So seeing something like that really freaked me out, and I was I did not want to go back to that school, but ended up going back. Eventually sometime would say around a month or two after that, around October, we were kind of all playing on the playground, and one of the older students, fifth grade students there, started telling a story about how there was a fire in the school, and apparently some students had gotten caught in it, and it kind of destroyed part of the school. So me and the kids that had experienced that night, that back to school night, a couple of months before that, all got together, and we were really freaked out by it and uneasy about it because we know what we had seen, and we had told the other kids, that the older kids that were telling us that story, and they kind of just brushed it off, was like, oh no, we're just joking with you, there was no fire. But I believed, in hindsight, I believe they were kind of just as freaked out as we were, and probably didn't want to talk about it anymore. They probably freaked their own selves out or got scared. Didn't They probably didn't think there was any truth to what they were telling. So to be told that, hey, this is what we saw, it probably resonated with them that it was some truth to that story that they were telling. And the story that they were telling to scare us, they ended up scaring themselves, I guess. So that's something that always kind of stuck with me there. With other haunted experiences, I can't really pinpoint any haunted experiences I've had in any other schools other than when I was in high school. We were sitting there in Spanish class, and we were all, of course, doing our work, listening to the instructor, whatever was going on, and the classroom door opened by itself. It wasn't like it was jerked open or anything. We just actually saw the knob twist, and it was just gently pulled open. Just gently pulled open, and then it touched like someone was coming in. And then the door closed back as if someone just came in and shut the door behind them. And I remember just sitting there like a deer in the headlights, just sitting. I'm looking at my teacher, like, did you just see that? And he's speechless. And this girl was like, oh no, She's like, I'm not doing this. I know all of you just saw what happened. And I remember kind of saying a silent prayer to myself, saying, no, 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 this is not happening. So I kind of, I was weirded out about that. And I found after that, for a while, my Spanish teacher had kept his door open. He kept his door open after that, I guess, to allow whatever it was to come and go as it pleased, instead of just being trapped in there with us, or coming in the middle of the class. So that was freaky as well. But I think those are the only two instances where I've ever experienced anything supernatural in school. Speaking of haunted schools, haunted places, outside of my own experiences, I would love to hear the experiences of you guys, our listeners. I'd like to hear any hauntings, any any ghost stories, anything bizarre that you've had happen to you. We would love to hear those. You can submit those stories, tales, experiences. You can submit those to us on our Facebook page, Beyond the Bazaar. We're also on Instagram, Beyond the Bazaar. And we also, of course, as you all know, we have a website, beyondthebazaar.com, that you guys can also submit those stories to us. We would like to hear them and maybe even share them on our podcast. If they're not shared on the podcast, we'll also share them on our website as well. So either way, we want to hear them. We love to share them. If you guys have any, especially right now, about any haunted schools, like if you went to a school that was haunted, or if you have any experiences or know anyone that's experienced that and they want to share their tale or don't mind you sharing their tale, then of course, by all means, let us know at any of those platforms, and we'll most definitely want to share it, and we'll share it on a podcast in a future episode. Even outside of August, we'll still share any type of hauntings, even if it's a school haunting. Just send it to us, and we'll share it. we'll we'll talk about it. So send us all of your stories, any stories that you can, and we'll look at them. And once again, if they don't make it on the podcast, then we'll definitely share them on our website, www.beyondthebazaar.com. Now, outside of the haunted schools, there are, of course, haunted roads. Anyone who's driven on a haunted road or has experienced things driving, especially at night, knows that's and not really something that you want to experience ever again. But what if I were to tell you that some people actually go seeking these things, seeking answers, and not be prepared for what they find? That's what we get when you go looking for a road. The right road that will have the answers to all of your questions. All you need is one wish. One wish. It could be riches. It could be the fine love of your life. It could be anything. What would you wish for? That's the answer that you will find when you seek out the 11-mile road. The 11-mile road is a ritual of sorts in which the driver, yourself, will drive to have a road appear, and you will drive down that road in seek of an answer or a fulfillment to your wish. Sounds easy, but everything has a price or a cost. So, take a seat, buckle up. You're in for a ride on the 11-mile road. To start your journey, be mindful that no one else can be in the car with you. You have to be completely alone. In order to successfully complete this ritual, you have to have a vehicle and the ability to operate it. An ideal choice is a car. The safe choice is a car. But it's not the only option that you have. But just keep in mind, it is the safest choice. Another thing that you need is a deep wish or personal desire. After you have that, you're ready. Let's go find the road. Finding the road. Begin at night, ideally at a time when the roads are less traveled. When the streets are empty, that's the best time. Drive to the woods. The woods must be a particular type of woods. The road that you're driving on to take you to them must also pass through the woods. Keep driving. Drive and enter the woods. Keep driving. Begin looking. Look carefully. Let your wish guide you. You will know the road when you see it. Keep driving. When you are certain that you have located the road, turn down it. Traveling the 11 miles. Take a moment if you need it. You may stop the car or your vehicle of choice if you wish. Proceed only when you're ready. Drive. Keep driving. This is mile 1. If it gets cold, you may turn your heater on. Keep driving. This is mile 2. If you haven't already turned the heater on, now would be a good time to do so. If you do not, you might regret it later. This is why a car is a safe choice to take down the 11 miles. Keep driving. This is mile 3. Ignore any shadows in the trees, no matter how human they may seem. Keep driving. This is mile 4. Ignore any voices you may hear, no matter how human they may seem. Keep driving. This is mile 5. Ignore the vanishing of the trees, the sudden appearance of a lake, and the glowing of the moon. Keep driving. This is mile 6. Ignore the returning of the trees, the disappearance of the stars, and the flickering of your headlights. If your radio turns on, ignore that too. Ignore it no matter what it says, but do not attempt to turn it off. Congratulations, you are halfway done. Keep driving. This is mile 7. Ignore, again, any voices you may hear, no matter how close they may sound. Do not turn around, even if the voices appear to be coming from the back seat. Keep driving. This is mile 8. Slow down, but do not stop. Brake if your headlights flicker, but do not stop. No matter how cold it gets, do not stop. No matter who or what you might see, do not stop. Keep driving. This is mile 9. Your vehicle may stall. Close your eyes. Attempt to restart your vehicle. Do not open your eyes, no matter what you hear. Do not open your eyes. When your vehicle starts, hit the gas as fast as you can. When the mile is over, you may open your eyes. Keep driving. This is mile 10. Do not look in your rear view mirror. Keep driving. This is mile 11. Your vehicle may lose power, but continue to move. Let it move. If you see a red light ahead, close your eyes. Close them tightly. Cover them with your hands if you must. Cover your ears if you can. Make sure you cannot see anything. No matter what you hear, do not look. No matter what you feel, do not look. No matter how hot it gets, do not look. When the power returns, stop your vehicle. Open your eyes. Take a moment. Take a breath. Drive. You're ready to receive your reward. Keep driving until the road meets a dead end. Stop. Relax. Close your eyes. Imagine your deepest desire, even if it has changed from what it was when you began your journey. Imagine it all the same, changes and all. Imagine not simply wanting it or desiring it, but having it, possessing it. Open your eyes. If your desire was an object, check your trunk. If it is smaller than that, check your back seat. If it's smaller than that, check your pockets. Your reward will be there. If your desire was non-material, return to your life and check there. If it does not appear immediately, be patient. It will come. You're ready to complete the journey. You may find at this point that you have returned to the start of the road. You may go home, or you may begin the journey again. The choice is up to you. During the journey, it's important to make note not to do any of the following. Do not turn on the radio, tape deck, CD player, MP3 player, aux, or any music playing device that you have. Do not turn it on. Do not use a cell phone. Do not open the windows. Do not drive faster than 30 miles per hour. Do not leave the car. And also, keep your eyes on the road. Unless otherwise stated, your safety depends on it. So, my question to you is, will you travel the 11 miles? That was 11 miles, a ritual that originated on creepypasta from a creepypasta wiki user, Emery. Unfortunately, I did try to find the link to the profile, but it's since been removed. But I was able to find a copy of the ritual that you're able to try at your own risk. I'm not, once again, as I stated during the elevator ritual in Three Kings, we're not we're not compelling or suggesting for anyone to do any of this. If you want to go out there and drive 11 miles on some road that appears in the middle of nowhere, do it at your own risk, at your own discretion, not at ours. Be safe. Use a car. The ritual does change based on whatever vehicle you're using, but if you're going to be driving around and things are going to get cold, or there's going to be things out there that are not human, I think you'll probably want to be surrounded by tons of metal than a bike. So I would definitely use a car if you're going to do that. The 11 miles ritual is one is something that I found interesting. It's not necessarily a haunted road tale, but I thought it was the best thing to kick off the month of August for our haunted road trips, haunted school theme of the month. The next three episodes will also center around these same themes. And like I said, if you guys have any tales or stories, haunted colleges, haunted universities, haunted middle schools, high schools, elementary schools, ever went on a drive in the middle of the night, saw something that was weird, tell us, send it to us, Facebook, Instagram, our website. We want to hear it, we want to share it. Let us know. And I also want to say it doesn't necessarily have to be ghost related. Even though, yes, we said haunted roads, haunted schools. But if you're driving in the middle of the night, you see some aliens having a meeting on the side of the road, please tell us because we want to know. You see ET out there, see ET phone home, please let us know. We want to know. You guys run into anything weird in the middle of the night? Let us know. Like, we want to hear it. We want to share those things. So once again, Facebook, Instagram, www.beyondthebazaar.com, our website. Share it with us. We want to hear it all. Next week, I will have more haunted schools and haunted road trips, bizarre schools, bizarre road trips tales to share with you. Until then, stay bizarre and have a great night.